All right, hello, everybody. The minutes for our January meeting were distributed and hope everybody's had a chance to review them. Can I get a motion to approve the January minutes?
I move. We approve.
Kara, second. Second. Okay, David,
There's a third.
third. Great.
I raised that thing. You're paying me, Trump.
Okay, motion to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, so the minutes have been approved. Motion's there. So here we go. We're gonna start with welcome introductions. So we have somebody at the table right now, so Parker, not to embarrass you at all, but go ahead.
I'm Parker Smelser. I work for the Parks Group and, just kind of want to see how this kind of stuff works. So I thought I'd sit in.
Great.
Parker started as a seasonal. He actually lives over in Northwood, so he's actually a community member and we hired him as a full-time,
A little over a year ago.
a year ago, so.
Northwood, you're a neighbor.
He told me when he got hired full-time, he wants to take my job. So I said, well, you gotta start with some of this, so he showed an interest, so I'm excited to have.
Bucks. I hope you do a better job than Jim did.
On a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and I was there for about 2 hours with my dog, and I counted 27 dogs and
Northwoods?
28 people, 27 dogs. It's a highly used. And two of the guys had blow up screens, and so they have, in the summertime, they had movies for kids
Yeah.
right at sunset.
Yeah, cool. Northwoods is busy. Mr. Parker, you wanna introduce yourself and give us a little?
I'm Bruce Parker. I'm on the Bike and Pit Committee. You might wonder why I'm on the Bike and Pit Committee. I don't think I've told this story. I'll make it pretty quick. I'm another bike. I'll be in a few minutes.
Good.
When I retired, I had a friend who was hit by a semi truck.
Oh.
And so I said, okay, I'm going to do bike and ped type of stuff. And then a little bit later, I had another friend hit, seriously injured. Well, later she committed suicide, probably as a result of this injury. And we've also had one distant family member killed here in Canby, a pedestrian. And then just recently, we had another pedestrian fatality. A gentleman who used to walk up and down Holly Street, where he wore a yellow bright vest. And so that's 4. So that kind of keeps me saying it's important. I know it seems to be a backwater. It is, but somebody has to speak up. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, all right. All right, we're gonna move on to Ron Byrne, who's on a recording, but Ron wanted to address the Parks Group today. Ron, why don't you give us a little background, introduce yourself, and then give us a little background?
Well, I'm Ron Byrne, and I'm with the Heritage and Landmark Committee, and I was liaison to the bicycle and pedestrians about the Molalla Forest Trail.
Okay.
For a while.
And that's what you wanted to talk about today, so I'm gonna give you like your 3 minutes to make your speech, and then if you want to stay and listen to the rest of the meeting, you can, or you can click off.
Well, plans seem to have been dropped for the extension of the Molalla Forest Trail south of 13th Avenue. And I was wondering what happened to them, because in April of 21, the traversal section development plan was finalized. And I was just wondering what happened with lands.
Okay, so your question, what happened? So we have just a guy here to maybe speak to that.
Well, we did and Bruce, you were involved in this, but we did the development concept plan And then we did a community outreach meeting to show it off and everything else, tell them, and then we're kind of at a standstill right now. Funding, and dealing with the property owners down there. So, I mean, Bruce and I,
Can I add to it? Probably in 21, it was the master plan was the right title. And we followed up with another grant. And it was Natural Parks. And they were trying to mediate some of the differences, and that just kind of stopped as we ran into problems with the landowners, and it's kind of lost momentum.
Yep.
And I just, I think the sense is right now is not the right time.
Right,
yeah. So yeah, Ron, it's just, there was work done and the timing and everything, it just kind of stopped.
and with the neighbors involved, I mean, there's some agreement. Or some work to do with the people that live along the trail.
One of the problems is it's out of the city limits, so it makes it difficult to use parks SDC funds or anything like that towards it. So we've been focusing more on stuff in the city, I guess, would be, going off the master plan, working on projects like development that was done years ago and trying to get new parks built, that we fell behind on that, so. That's kind of where we're at, Ron.
It's at a standstill, Ron. And it's lower down the priority list at this point. It's not the right time. As Bruce said.
Okay, well, I was just wondering, wondering what happened to it, and actually, if it could be extended down to the Mill Creek River, Creek.
Maxburg,
It'd be nice.
okay, well, did we answer your question, Ron, and?
Yes,
Okay. You're welcome to stay on and listen to the rest of the meeting. If not, you can sign off and we're gonna proceed.
okay,
All right, thanks, Ron.
goodbye.
All right, Jerry, it's you, unless you're gonna pass this on to Parker.
Is it just new business for what?
Update on where we stand today.
Yeah.
Community park.
Community park, I actually took our parks chair down there today and we looked at it, so it's going good. It just looks like they're busy wrapping stuff up. Still not I never did get a finish date today.
Okay, you didn't talk to me.
No, I didn't. I got busy, so I apologize if anyone wants to know, but we're still shooting for March 1st. Hopefully sooner.
They were down there working on both restrooms, so.
Yep, so it's going well and I'm happy with what's happening.
They look good.
Good. Auburn Farms, I believe, is going to second reading, Jim.
Can I stop you?
Oh, yeah.
Just a second on the community park. So can I put something on, the Friends of Canby Parks page saying that the target date is March 1st?
You can, or I can give you a more updated one tomorrow,
Okay,
if you want. I can
Yeah.
text you and let you
yeah,
know.
just let
Okay.
me know, because people are asking.
Carrie's getting asked, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that'd be nice, and then.
Yeah, no, I will give you a date tomorrow and,
You okay if I went down there and took a picture of something and
Yeah.
then. hopefully-
yeah, if the gate's open, just, there's a sandwich board, just drive around it and go down and just stay out of their way and take a picture of it. It doesn't look real pretty yet, because they haven't got the landscaping done.
Yeah. Okay,
It's just so muddy.
yeah,
But yeah, no, drive down there. Gate's closed, you can't get in.
right, yeah, okay,
But yeah.
okay, thank you.
Take one and pass it on.
Auburn Farms Development, I believe it's second reading.
Third reading.
Coming tomorrow.
Yep.
So that's good. It passed.
Take, or pass it down.
It passed unanimous, I think, the first reading, so it's good. Maple Street,
Well, hold on. Just a minute. Okay. Don't, I know we want to move, but. Auburn Farm, okay, so we're doing the second reading. We had the community engagement meeting with the neighbors, and based on their feedback, okay, so they either took that rendering that's posted up here, and we had our meeting, and a lot of people were there. There were probably 30. people made recommendations, what they liked, what they didn't like. For the most part, they liked the layout of it. And they made some recommendations, and I listed things that they said, and then I also summarized on this other sheet that I had passed around here. So a few things to look at. So I guess my question being now is, if we take this rendering to HHPR, because they're have they been approved as the contractor yet, or we need the second reading and the 30-day wait? All right, so we need the second reading and the 30-day waiting period. And when we reach that, can we go to HHPR and say, we like the rendering, well, here are some suggestions made by the community, this is what we'd like to see, and
That's
then,
exactly how it'll go.
and then they can make the adjustments to that.
No, we'll keep you guys fully involved in the process as we go through this.
Awesome, that's great.
No, it's great. We're excited.
Now you can go on to.
We have a tennis court in our neighborhood, and we are looking to, maybe reconfigure it, so to make it more football friendly, because we really like that two courts.
Yeah.
And, one of our members found a, diagram of a way that you can do it where you keep both, is you have two pickleball courts divided by the tennis court net, so you can play tennis court or two pickleballs.
Oh, cool.
Really neat, it's a really neat concept.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, and we decided that we should do a tennis court, or the neighbors
Yeah.
decided. And we talked about, since we eliminated tennis at Maple Street, to give the tennis folks a tennis court.
Yeah.
But you can do both.
Right.
But some of the neighbors are like, we do not want pickleball at all. So.
What was the tone when you were talking about parking lot? Were people violent about parking lot, or just trying, don't mess with our houses?
It was, I think what did I have?
Biggest problem was fences in the backyard. They want us to build fences. That was
Yeah.
the biggest concern, because they didn't put fences in the back. I don't know why they didn't, but it's gonna be a kind of a battle. But we'll get through it.
Good job, Barry.
Anything else on Auburn? Now you can go on to Legacy.
Maple.
Legacy.
Legacy, we got 4 bids. David Garber came in like crazy cheap, which is good. We're back on budget. We're under budget. So we got a good price on the concrete. Right now, our finance department's working out a contract with them, and as soon as we get that done, we're gonna try to get him going. He wants to go now. We're trying to like install him just a little bit, so we get a little bit of driver weather, so we don't make a mess. So that's moving forward.
The equipment for the exercise portion is here, and we need to and we received a timeline from the manufacturer too, right? A schedule. And we're on that schedule.
We're ahead of schedule.
So one side of the wall is exercise equipment, and we have the equipment on site. The other side of the wall is pictures, photographs, whatever renderings that they'll put on there with, it's graffiti proof kind of stuff. I guess you can wash it off. I'm not sure how that goes, but we have some renderings, and I'd like Jerry to pull them up right now. And if we can, I'd like to take a vote. You're gonna be.
Jerry, how big's the pad going to be for that?
It's 4 inches, but it's got rebar in it.
Now, this wall, I was under the assumption that this wall, I don't know why, but that it was a concrete wall. It's not a concrete.
No, it's on a concrete base, I think.
It's just the base.
Yeah, and then it's bolted onto.
What
Okay,
is it? Is it metal or?
It's metal or aluminum. we haven't opened anything up there because we don't want it to go bad.
How tall is it?
6, it's an 8, well, I think just that to the middle of the dahlia is 6 feet, isn't it, Barry? And then it's angles up to like. Yeah.
I think it's 6 and 2.
It's been so long, I used to know all the details on that, I kind of forgot. It's pretty tall though, yeah.
I think it's 6 and 2.
6 and 2, that's 8 feet total.
8 feet total.
Big picture, we gotta make it look good.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah,
I want you to, Jerry's gonna show you, basically, we've got two pictures that are collages and then two pictures that are full screen, full width. Okay, so if we kind of just concentrate on this side first, Jerry,
What do I need to do?
well, I think you're just gonna, you know, this.
Oh, use the mouse grade?
No, this is picture number one, and then if you drag down, you'll see picture number.
Oh, I see, there's more down below. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, this one?
Yeah, that's picture number two. And there, can you make it any wider? Is it as wide as it is? I mean, any larger, I guess. No.
Yeah.
No. Now you broke it.
I'm sorry, on screen sharing. Okay, so that's.
All right, so
I mean, I can zoom in.
with the collage pictures, I'd like us to maybe make, so we need to move along with this, and we're not gonna, we don't have time, we don't have the weather to go out and. They would like this, the decision made on which pictures, so they can begin their process, so. If we look at the collage side, can we decide on which picture number one or picture number two do we like the best? Before we move over to that.
You like this one, Terry?
Jerry says one, Brian says,
Throw a curveball at you here, but does it have to be all flowers? I mean, could you not do like some dahlias and like a fairy in the middle and another, kind of mix it up? Just so it's not. I'm just asking questions.
Okay, the thing about the dahlias is that they were taken in a vertical format. They didn't really have, these two photographers didn't have any landscape pictures per se. So we asked them to go ahead and provide us with kind of what they thought were their best photos. And so the company put them together, one with a lot of collage like this one and the other with fewer. And so, and then on the other side, we have two pictures to look at that are just landscape. And they happen to be Kara's pictures that she took. And so we're trying to decide what we, you know, what story do we want to tell with these.
so is your first one is, you gotta choose one of the flowers?
I would
Well, we
like
have-
us to
yeah.
choose from the collage side and then choose from this side,
And then.
which picture you like.
The collage is choice of two flowered plants.
There are two, the collages, that picture or the one above.
I don't think they don't sound. They're not instructive, they're not. I don't know.
Well,
I
on
think
this,
this kind of one is more descriptive. And I sure like the forest one. I mean, for me, seeing a bigger picture than just a few
Yeah.
little flowers.
if you were to choose on the first two pictures over here, which one would you choose? Of those two,
I would pick the lower one, I just like those better, but I really like the one solid picture.
yeah, we're only. We're just trying to. Little branch, little branch.
So let me ask you this, so this is the backside of,
That's the back side of the wall. And
so
it's,
the neighbor, so whoever lives in that deal is gonna be looking right at this, is that what I'm?
they won't be able to see it
How far?
through their fence, but, you know, it'll be.
That's a good question. Which way is it orientated?
So
The
that's-
fitness equipment's gonna be to the track side.
Okay.
The fitness equipment will be on the track side. The picture will be on
So who will be walking by and seeing their picture?
the people that are on the court side that might be doing aerobics or yoga or kung fu or whatever they're doing. It's on the exercise side. Or not the exercise, but the
Track side?
the free form exercise side.
So, okay, so let me ask, which way is this thing configured? Is it, am I like,
East
this
west.
right here, so this, I'm in that neighbor's backyard looking towards Ackerman and Lee at this angle.
At that angle, and you'll be looking at
And
the
then Mount
back.
Hood, if I'm on the exercise side, I'm looking at Mount Hood.
Yes,
looking-
yes,
Yeah, so this would be on that side. One of these will be on the other side.
No.
Oh, we're just picking one.
One ones, right, you only have one space.
You're gonna go down, go, slide down, go, just slide down just a little bit. That side is facing the track.
Okay,
That side is facing the neighbor's fence.
gotcha. Gotcha.
You're one. Ryan is, boy, I'd like to,
This side, so you either gotta pick this side or this side?
no, no,
Which one?
one or two.
Okay, we have other pictures besides Dahlia's, to Barbara's point.
It's, you know, we've gone through a lot of pictures and we need to, you know, we've got dahlias, we've got the ferry, we've got others. I'm not putting a railroad track on the wall because I wasn't a favorite,
Yeah.
but if we can just kind of stay focused and, you know, it's either one or two, it's not that difficult.
One or two?
No. Can you put it out there? Good luck.
Well, we are
We're
going
gonna
to
get
get
to them. Okay.
of this one
Okay.
and that's.
But it's, I think we're over the previous one. Two, that's one, two, Ryan, I know you're not a fan of either, but abstain, you can, Barbara. Top or bottom,
No,
neither, abstain, David, and one.
they're too bold to.
You can't vote, Andrew, yet till we're blessed tomorrow at the top.
Okay,
You can, I prefer one on this one.
I like one also, and the two just seems really busy with a
Too
lot
busy.
going on.
Terry, you're a two, Jim, you're.
maybe I'm not.
You're lucky, Terry. You're lucky. Okay, so we have a double abstention. We have 3 abstentions. We have 5 for 1, so number 1. Now, let's go to the other side. I'll bring the other one.
The answer is, we're talking about whether it's no or
Can you
extension,
make
what's
it
an extension?
I can-
No.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, well, okay, that's good. Now you have this picture, 1 on the full view. Keep going. Or this picture, 2 on the full view.
Does anybody know how clear these pictures are gonna be? Is it gonna be this
Yeah.
good in quality?
It's
Okay.
gonna, yeah, I think it's actually better than that.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I do too. I think what they produce and put on there is better. Okay, so there's number 2. Show us number 1 again, Jerry.
Got it.
Okay, if we choose between 1 or 2, what do we say?
We say not flowers are better than flowers, one.
You like 1, Barbara, Terry?
Oh, I like them both. I'll go with one.
Ryan? He abstained.
Let's base it
I don't know, it sounds like there's already been a lot of work, I was gonna say, it's just like, you're either getting one or the other, and I think you can match, but. I don't really know, I'm trying to visualize, for me, I'm trying to visualize, if I'm that guy that lives right behind this place, what,
You're not gonna see him because you're gonna be looking at the back of your fence.
Well, the second floor.
Maybe maybe the second floor, yeah.
I don't know, I'll take the flowers.
Then we put a picture of you on.
Yeah.
It would be- Let's see if that's gonna be your team, what we find out.
David,
You get them both.
you said 1. You said the ferry.
But if you change your mind, that's fine.
Okay, David, 1, I'm 1,
I'm a one.
One,
yeah.
Okay,
Can I just say, I like one because it's not seasonal. You know, it kind of represents.
it's a broader view than just flowers.
It's seasonal, there's.
Yeah, but,
Colors.
I-
A lot more thought in this.
and.
so. Can I just say, when we were talking about this, I was looking for something that's more like iconic can be, you know, that's more about us. And I felt like the ferry was a good thing that, you know, we don't know, not very many towns have one. And
You know,
it was kind of cool.
And I don't disagree. I know initially we thought, you know, the Dahlia. Personally, I think that now, if you go back between the Dahlia that we chose, number one, the Dahlia collage, or this, which would you prefer?
This,
The ferry? I actually think the ferry shot is, that would be my vote also.
Carrie, your artwork's gonna live on.
This or
From
this.
your lips to God's here.
Shrink that one, the ferry one a little bit. So we
Can the
can
col-
see.
what's the real quality of the color?
The color is very good.
No,
Yeah,
you wanna
it's
see
It
the-
looks kind of.
Get rid of
It
this.
does look washed out. I was kind of disappointed with how it looks.
Leave it.
I think that
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I know. Now,
Water is more reflective and stuff. It's just more clear, so.
so these were the choices. The ferry or the flowers, and I think you like
The ferry.
ferry,
Very.
ferry. Ferry, ferry. Ryan, can you know the two? Can you know the two?
I want to know what your vision is.
Ferry,
Hot air balloons.
We have to be.
They're already on
the ferry.
yeah.
That would be so fun, really. Yeah.
Or is there a way to make these colors more vivid? They look kind of pale.
They are not in real, I mean, you know, I could show them to you on my phone and they're much more vivid than what this is showing. So I think that's up to the company.
We need to get the company, you know, our decision, so they have time to develop the
Would you express them about the color?
color it up.
Yeah.
Make it up. Vivid as you can.
You know what vivid is, it's all about flowers. It's not about the other.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, well, that ferry's a little dingy.
That kind of gets in my mind, like, I think it would be a great picture, but I don't think that's, it is what it is, but I think there's some, right there, it looks like, you know, doesn't look like it's in great shape. You know,
Well, you
it's
can't
not-
see the whole thing.
That's why I thought it would be, like, if you put it where the truck is, it's a smaller view and you're not gonna get as detailed of chains and stuff hanging out, I mean, you can kind of,
Give it context.
but I don't work out, so you won't see me over here anyway. I'm looking at-
Well, you'll be on the other side of the wall anyway.
Yeah.
If you do go to work.
I want to put your name.
When I walk by, the secret. Yeah, no, they're both, I mean, they're both, I think, great, I just don't.
Okay,
This is not that shot, but
We-
that is.
we will move on from like.
I 100% agree,
We've
but that's what. the
come to an
vision- that's what-
agreement. On the ferry.
Yeah,
That one's smooth.
Hopefully this
It
one-
went smooth. Well, Okay, Maple Street.
Oh, Maple Street, we just yesterday or Friday got the final contract in. And we were able to get a contract put through Field Turf, which is that. That vendor that's worked through government pricing that we're able to just use, and we got that approved through our attorney already. And the nice thing is we kind of got held up.
Go ahead, no, keep going, Barbara's.
Well, I'm just getting worried.
We got kind of held up with Kim Utility because they had direct buried wire go through the field. And they were concerned about putting it under the turf. They wanted to make sure it was good wiring, so we didn't have a electrical fault and have to dig it up. So we got the contract back, and in the contract, just added the trail lighting, or what do you want to call it, the path lighting?
Yeah.
So that's in the contract as a bid alternate. We could remove it on it. So I worked on the staff report and the ordinance today. Got a little bit of work, but it'll make the next council meeting for approval.
Could you say that about Kim Utility again?
They were just making,
I mean, they said.
they looked at it and said that everything's in good shape, so there's no worries. So they're gonna get the transformer ordered for the upsizing, and I think we got a really good solid contract, so I don't see any change orders.
So. the legacy park thing, it was under the 50,000, so that's able to be signed off on.
Yeah.
And Auburn Farms, we're going for the second reading, which will be when? Is it tomorrow night? Okay, and then 30-day wait. Now, the Maple Street then is, when is the next meeting?
First meeting in March, first Wednesday in March.
First Wednesday in March, Maple Street will go out for the first reading. First Wednesday in March, that's what we're shooting.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, we missed that last meeting. I apologize. I just wanted to make sure the contract was all.
We'll have the lighting and everything.
Yeah, yep,
So they'll have the first reading in March, then they'll have the second reading will be mid-March. And then the 30-day wait, we should be all buttoned up by
May 1st.
May 1st.
ready to go July 1.
Yeah.
Ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
We meet those deadlines.
Yeah.
So it's still July 1 is kind of the go date. for
That's
that?
when they wanna do it. We'll have the contract ready, it's budgeted, so if they wanna, we won't be waiting on us. We'll be waiting. Their plan was to start July 1.
How much of the park's gonna be shut down when the pickleball's gonna still be open and everything for everybody?
Yeah.
Restrooms.
We're putting in a gate on Noble, so they can access and work through
Oh.
Noble Street and not affect any of them.
With the spray pad and everything.
Yep.
So I guess. Another question I have, so it sounds like it's gonna be pre-wired with all the lights and all that stuff, that's all
All
dug up.
going in.
So is there a way to have it, it's all dug up, have it wired for, I don't know how. Works, couple scoreboards, so that we don't have to go back in and,
That we would have to look into a change order. I don't have that in the contract, but we could, once we got it going, have them look at that and give us a price, if that's.
and I don't even know if they have to, I mean, because that. The previous scoreboards were in between the fields, so I don't know if that's something that we even have to involve them with, but I think it's worth the investigation, so we don't have to.
Just get a conduit there so the fiber optics could. be ran
Yeah,
around
you just
it.
have to get power out to,
Let's talk more on that, so I don't forget that. Let's
Yeah.
make sure we talk to, I think that's a good idea. Get it in,
might as well get another
Yeah.
thing in while it's tore
at
up.
least get the conduit in, that would be cheap, we could throw that in. I think I had,
addendum.
yeah, I can do a change order, or we could, usually when we start these projects, we do give and takes, work together on it. We could just, if there's an open trench, we go out, our crew. And throw some conduit in or something.
Where would you want these scoreboards put?
That's. an-
The historical, they were just in between the two fields, so they were,
I remember where.
kind of. Well, I guess it'd be the right field for Harry Wyman and the left field, so they're just kind of sit. I don't know how far there is between the two fields, what is that, 50 feet or whatever it is, so they were just kind of down the line about 100 feet,
And are they-
they were on a pole.
Are they wireless now too?
Everything's wireless now,
That's-
now you just need power
That's
to
getting,
light
oh,
light.
that's
good.
See, that's
Word is actually wireless, but you just need power to.
to get to lights, whatever, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I'll follow up on that one, and see what's involved, we'll talk to Steve. maybe.
You're gonna need a press box, that's to run the scoreboard.
Nope. That sounds dangerous.
Who's running the?
Yeah, I think it
You
would
get
be.
mom and dad to do it. That's what you do it empty.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just on a phone, you just sit there on a phone and work.
Well, now we go to Karen.
I had one more thing though,
About
the splash pad. I don't know if any of you saw the splash tore, we had the splash pad tore up out there. We had a weird, we were really concerned, like, we were finding sand in two of the heads, two of the upright deals, I forget what they call them, which one, do you remember? Yeah, whatever one.
one that's flush with the ground.
And so we kept getting more and more sand in it, and we're just. So, we ended up going out to the streets guys, went out and worked with one of the parks guys, saw cut up one area, one square around the head, found more sand, TV'd it, went down, located another area, and it was a defect in the piece of pipe, and it shot a hole down and cut the other pipe off.
Okay, so does that repair on that, does that fall onto the contractor? Ah,
Cause it's so, it's 3 years old. Yeah, but anyways, we got it fixed, no one's gonna really see it and all that, so I'm pretty excited, I thought it was.
Nice
Yeah, I'm pretty, the park guys and streets guys did a good job.
He's finding on,
May.
what they do,
I was gonna bring, I ran back there, I was gonna show you the pipe, what it did, but they must have thrown it away.
What they do with the ones, the little orange jobs that the kids get on and then rock them back and forth, and it starts to,
They're set back on right now.
are they tight? Cause they were loose and
They're tight,
I wonder if we can replace those at some,
You
because
can't.
those things are.
like we just saw cut up a square where the head is, and it's just PVC pipe down there, so you could change out those. It's a little, I say it's easy because I don't have to do it, but.
Parker, is it easy?
I wasn't there for that, project, so I can't say.
But it is pretty easy to change those out, and I think the parks guys would like to go with more stuff, can't be sheared off. And kids climbing on and stuff like that, so that's something we could talk about in the future as they break.
Yeah, I would like to know about those, I don't know what they
That-
call
that
those little.
Big flower, it's got so much leverage, they're just,
It's loose too?
no, they fix.
Along sticks.
What's weird too, is we had two of those zones shut off. Cause they were leaking sand and no one even climbed. So that was good, so I don't think people care, as long as it squirts water, I think they're.
I like the one, the bucket that dumps down.
Yeah.
Slow.
And when you get out there, Russ.
Yeah. You know, later.
Okay, that's all I had, was just one other question.
All right, Karen, it's on you right now.
Okay, so Lisa and Barry and I met to choose, benches and tables, and do we have that to put up here? Yes, no?
Unless you send it to Jerry.
I'll send it to Jerry, but
Can you send it to me real quick?
no, but I mean, you can get on the Do More, website.
Oh, I can bring it to the website.
Yeah,
How do you spell it?
DUMOR.
Oh, I got it.
You got two
Sorry,
Ds and an E. OR.com. You want me to come in?
You want this? Here, you can just take this.
Oh, I don't know.
It works better.
The mouse.
Mouse.
I wasn't doing a real good job for Barry.
I'm looking for Parker to fill in on that.
All right. He's ready.
It's more ready than you are.
I agree.
Okay, so, we chose that document that I sent to you guys. Do you have it? Do you have it?
I probably need.
Okay, oh, you know what? I wrote it down too. Somewhere. I know, I should have been more prepared. Oh. There it is. Okay, so we got 57 and let's see, 57 and 91 are one of the
There's
benches.
57 on the.
There's
far-
57 right there,
And 91.
and then 91 is
Yeah.
right here, so they match. So,
One with back and one flat, and they're wood, it's a
they're plastic,
plastic.
the recycled plastic.
What's the frame made out of?
Steel.
Cast steel or.
Let's see, just say. Okay, so if I get out of this. Oh, shoot, now look what I did. Okay, so there's,
Just click on the, on 57, if you
Yeah.
just click on that, and it should have
Yeah.
options,
options,
yeah, or
Specs.
spec, yeah, specs.
okay. Now maybe if I, oh, okay, there it was, just there it was. Well,
Plastic lumber, wood frame lumber, so you can get different.
yeah, and I sent the prices. Do you have that paper that I sent to you?
I did that.
Um,
I thought,
Yeah, I should have. And I can't believe I didn't. I want a different phone now. It's on my phone.
Well, Jerry brought up we went to Timber Park today to look at something else, and at Timber Park, they have a bench that looks like that, but it's all steel. And I was wondering, Kara, you know, I mean, between that bench, what is the price? I would like us to get a price on the steel back and the steel bench, because whatever we do, we want to try to, as we move forward, stay consistent.
Right,
And I don't know if timber's our newest park probably, and we put steel in over there. Any parks that we do in the future, and if we're getting, you know, we would, maybe steel is the way we want to go instead of.
We put it in our public works design standards too, once this was picked out, and then it's just how it is for developers or people purchasing them,
right.
Right.
So the slats going across their steel.
all of it, the whole
All
thing
of
is
it.
steel.
What are the
Okay,
benches that
so
you
is
use
that a,
around town? Right on my office, they're metal, I believe.
Those were GK Machine built those. And we got a good deal on them, and it was through the Ford Foundation when they were doing all that stuff, and they built those, they built them for like $800 a piece. The only thing that was bad is they did art in between the legs, and the kids broke it all out,
oh,
because they were kind of weak on that, but the bench is solid.
so the metal bench, it did not come from this company, is that what you're saying?
The ones down on First Avenue, when we did First Avenue
Okay,
development,
they did, because
separate, it was a street project.
Karen was the one that gave me this.
The parks is this is what we keep in our park standard.
But when I got prices, and I just emailed you if you want the specs, I just emailed you the price
Oh,
list that
yeah.
he gave me. That it's an email that I sent to Barry and Lisa with the prices that he gave me. The problem, well, one of the problems, it's pretty expensive. And he said that every single item has a $500 shipping cost. Which is I mean, so if you're already talking about a $1,500 bench, and then you add a $500 shipping cost on top of it, it puts it out of the reach of most people.
That's why we went Cura with the GK Machine ones.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have to pay the shipping, they built them over here locally.
I like that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the whole idea is for the community to be able to use it, and if you put the prices like that, but those are the prices that we got.
Yeah, I think our benches and garbage cans are a couple grand or 2,500 after shipping.
Yeah, and this is before shipping, that's $500 on every single one of those.
So the question is, Jerry, in
Yeah.
government jobs, city jobs, you have an approved supplier, right? And then you don't veer from that, or can you?
You can, yeah, it's just makes it clean for our finance department to go through government. It just makes it clean for auditing purposes and all that. The GK Machine deal, what we did is we got a quote from like this company.
Yeah.
And we wanted 40 benches, and it was big bucks. It was, something under 50,000. We didn't want to go to council approval. And then we got a price from GK Machine.
Yeah.
And GK Machine won because they didn't have to pay shipping.
But see, the program that Kara's putting together for us to put to, you're not gonna be able to go out in bulk and say.
Right.
I need to order 20, or I need to order 10. You're looking at a onesie twosie kind of thing, and GK Machine is not gonna, I'll build you one.
So, okay, so that was one of our questions, but then I talked to this guy and I said, that's crazy expensive, and I told him the same thing I just told you guys. And he said that there's a place called Natural Structures in Baker City.
Okay.
And this company, this Dumore, is in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So this Natural Structures could be way less on the shipping.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Well, it'll be less on ship.
I mean, it
That's
would
for
be,
sure.
you would think way less. And then there's gotta be park suppliers in California. So our Barry's question, and I suppose this is the reason I
Oh,
called you.
gotcha, yeah.
Is Barry wanted me to find out if we have to go through them or if we could find another supplier.
If they're like on government pricing, no problem. If they're not, I mean, it's just my request to get 3 bids.
But how
But
do you,
if someone's buying this and giving them to the city,
Right,
if it's the money's not, is the money going through the city and we're purchasing them?
I believe that's how it's gonna work.
Then it would be better to have a government pricing. We just check with them and they might be on it, Karen. And if you can find if there's a better that makes a good bench that's local.
well, is there a list of supply that you can go and say, how do you find out government pricing? Who,
Like,
in the state of Oregon, are there any companies in the state of Oregon that are on government pricing that make benches?
yeah, like I can have our,
Fantastic.
Brenda will look that up, or we just ask if you find a local, just say send us your government.
Somebody from the financial department,
Yeah, they could send us a list.
are they at work? They-
I hope they're not at work right now.
They're remote.
Hope they're at families right now. Barry.
Well,
It's only 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, but no, no. We can, absolutely, like, and if you're buying one bench. They just recommend you get 3 verbal quotes. If it's even if it's under 10,000, you don't have to. But, so I don't know, it's always clean if you go through government price.
Was there a dollar figure that we were trying to get to?
She's trying to save money.
Please try.
I guess here's where I was circling around to that is, again, the tree, I think is. I'm gonna say kind of memorial for everybody, but the bench, I think, is kind of a step up.
That's a
So
big
you,
step.
you don't wanna have it too cheap, because otherwise you're gonna have 50 benches you're gonna have to stick out. You know what I mean? It's kind of a, like, I don't wanna, it should be a little bit higher prestige. I mean, it's a bigger deal, right?
Right,
And
well,
that's-
we had kind of hoped, that maybe with Auburn Farms coming online soon, that a lot of the furnishings there. Even the trees and all of that could be sponsored by somebody. Which brings me to another idea that Keith had, my husband, and he was saying, okay, so if these are, this expensive, maybe what people can do is subsidize them the purchase of the bench or the table. And they pay for the plaque, which is gonna be at least $100. And then pay an addition, but we charge them $500 for it. And then that way they're kind of subsidizing the purchase of the table. And they're getting to memorialize whatever it is they wanted to memorialize. But not having to pay the whole amount.
They're just buying the plaque.
They're buying the plaque, but at a drastically increased, exaggerated price. So that it helps defray some of the cost of the,
How are you gonna write that in your policy?
yeah. Well, I don't know, well, first I wanna throw it out here and see what you guys thought of it.
Yes,
I think that works great, like on a new park, where
Yeah.
many people are excited, but
Yeah.
if it's a existing park, now you're like, this guy wants to buy a bench, now we're gonna give him a deal on it, we don't really need a bench, but they
Right.
want a memorial, but now we have to buy one,
Right.
and
right.
we're spending money, even though it's discounted.
Yeah,
But
We
we still
gotta
have to buy it, so
I
you
see,
have,
I
you
see
gotta
the
buy-
problem.
it's,
Yeah.
new stuff, that's great, or if it's
Yeah.
a need. But if somebody says, hey, I wanna put a bench over, I don't know. Timber Park.
Right.
Well, we don't need a bench over there, but now this guy wants to do it, so we're gonna spend.
Well, that's actually written into the policy that you can say where you want it,
Yeah.
but ultimately the parks
Yeah.
department has the decision about where it's gonna go.
Do you like them benches in front of your office?
They look real pretty. Never sat on
I mean,
it.
Carol, we can call GK Machine, they'll build benches for us right now. I mean, we can go with that. They're not as fancy as like the one at Timber, but they're 1/4-inch steel. You can't break. The only thing that I didn't like about them, the design they made originally, we made them change it, is the water didn't run off of them and your bug got wet when you said. That was the only thing, it just sat in there and we fixed that, but, I mean, we could go, if you wanna go look at those down on First Avenue, compare them, same with the garbage cans. GK Machine built them and they got decorative art on them.
Yeah,
And we set it into our standard, so we use those benches on our streetscapes in downtown and garbage cans. And Jeff's kept a different standard as parks.
well, that's what we talked about, is that we kind of wanted to standardize the stuff that's going in everywhere.
Right.
So that it's all kind of the same.
You gotta decide where are we gonna start?
Right, Ken really liked that idea too, so I think that's a good idea.
And we like the
Yeah.
shipping.
Yeah.
I know it's expensive, but it comes right here.
Yeah,
We have to drive over, pick them up, bring them back. It's just time.
Down and down.
It's just time, you know
Right.
what I mean? It's just, you gotta. When they called us when the First Avenue benches done, there was like 40 benches. It was like semi-load benches.
Oh, yes. Well, Ryan's point, you know, with the new park, we're gonna have to buy benches and stuff over there anyways. And so if we're gonna have to buy them, Kara's point, maybe you can substitute, you know, a plaque is $100, we're gonna charge you 500.
right,
You know, and put 400 toward the, you know, I don't know, I mean, you can do that, but it's gonna be,
cumbersome and,
it's gonna be tough to put that in your policy.
yeah.
You
It doesn't sound-
And explain that,
Yeah.
it doesn't,
If
Exactly,
you look at the benches in the pavilion area at City Hall.
Yeah.
Those were all, people, we were broke after building a library, so, people purchased those benches and the city bought the plaque for it. So you go look at everyone's names on there who bought them benches.
uh-huh,
I forgot to bring that up, I just thought about that, but you go look at it, it was kind of a neat program, so we could get
Yeah.
some benches.
who bought the benches?
Like Amanda Ziver bought one in memory of her mom, and,
Yep. that's exactly what
Greg-
we're talking about.
Greg Perez bought one, and it was able to get, it's the same situation,
Yeah.
and GK Machine gave us a price because we were buying 12 benches.
Yeah.
And that was a neat deal, and maybe you wanna do that for a park, if we're installing benches in the whole park, you get a price from GK Machine and have them do some custom work on it.
And-
I know I'm making more work here, but,
But GK Machine isn't gonna do a onesie twosie.
yeah,
Would they?
They'll build one
oh
bench.
yeah. They'll do anything, they'll build you whatever you want, they'll build you a brush rack for the front of your Buick.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, they don't.
Off-road.
It's the last bench I bought.
It was $800.
I think. It might have been 600, I can't remember, 600.
Well, you can see that's way better than that,
Yeah,
and do those have backs on them?
yeah, go take a look at them,
Okay.
Karen, maybe we follow up and look at that, you and I could run out there, you could talk to their graphics deal, maybe we go down that.
Yeah, no, I like that, I just.
If you like them, I didn't think people liked them,
Is there one next to Gwen's? Is that the same thing?
no,
You know, the
no,
one's there?
I don't think so, but the garbage can is a GK, but it might be, we might have moved one down there, Dave, I can't remember.
I know it's in there.
But they're all green and they're all down First Avenue and they're in front in the plaza at City Hall. And you can look at the plaques, we stuck the plaque on,
And the garbage cans are made by GK.
the ones on First Avenue.
Yeah.
And they're generally designed to let water shed off.
Yeah.
Not full.
Yeah, and they got like the garbage cans, and then you look at them, they have art in the legs of the benches. And then in the garbage cans, they have like the library in it, or they have different stuff, the ferry, a dahlia, they did dahlias on it, it's kind of cool, I know. It just. Something to think about, I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, sorry. Carol.
Well, then it's another option that we have to choose from.
Yeah.
Versus, you know, and we're, you know, we got some months to work at.
But let's look at them, and if you wanna go,
I'd love to have this in place by the time Auburn Farms needs furnishing.
Yeah.
So that we have, you know, we have some consistency going forward and we have the opportunity for people to
Yeah.
participate in furnishing that park if they want to.
And only shed some of the cost.
Yeah, and frankly, because if I lived in that neighborhood, I would love to have something like that.
Well, she just put in, it's gonna cost you $500 to put a plaque on this and not tell them it's only 100 to do it. I don't see
Yeah, yeah.
why it
you're
would
right.
be that complicated to write it into the policy.
It's not for me because I'm not writing.
and we need to get this done before budget, so we can put it in our master fee schedule, so that council can adopt it when it goes to budget.
Right, right.
So yeah, the sooner we get this kind of something going. the
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So you got the prices from Dumar, it sounds like you guys just need to work together with
Yeah.
GK Machinery and come up with a light.
So is it okay with you if I do a Google search to look for park furnishings and find somewhere and call them and ask them if they have government pricing.
Yep.
And if they do, then have this conversation about.
Yeah, and just, we wanna look at the steel thickness and make sure it's a strong bench, want something that in 20 years we can sandblast and repaint, and it looks new again.
Okay,
Yeah.
Consider the government pricing may be higher than what we can do locally in this community or nearby. communities. It's manufacturing.
That's why GK1 bid is because their bench, they were under $1,000.
yeah.
I would think you'd wanna go back to them, because they're pretty local.
Well, local, that's cool. I love local.
And they put them out fast, but yeah, they'll build one garbage can, one bench. They're doing it for all cities now. You go through Silverton, they're doing them. You look at other, their garbage cans are in Silverton when you drive through.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah, I mean,
And they'll do black?
black, any color. They
Okay.
had a whole range. I mean, go look, Kara, at the laser cutting, and then they put a sheet metal backing, so it snaps the color through it looked really cool. The only thing I didn't like about the garbage cans was if you don't put a padlock on them, I had to rechange the design of the latch,
Oh.
but they're a strong, good garbage can. And you'll see them, they're at all the truck stops and stuff around here, out at that's where I found them, was they were at the state truck stop or whatever, that rest area out there, and I saw them, and I saw GK Machine, and so, and then back when the Ford Foundation, Sean Hensley worked for GK Machine, and he's the one that kind of started that, and so we started using them a lot, and then ever since the library was built, we never have gone back.
okay, well.
I like it.
It's easy.
We've got a way to go, so you're gonna look for a
Yeah.
new supplier, GK Machine or somebody else.
Yeah,
My only thing was, I figured that it was kind of a government contract, they'd have to stay with whoever's already approved, but according to Jerry, it's like,
yeah.
it's free,
Yeah.
so research away. All right, let's move on. New business, review the CIP motion objectives for council from last meeting. And we have those, do you want me to go over?
I can read them off. I don't-
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and read them off?
Number one is continue support of the athletic fields. Two is initiate a Wake Park master plan for what it could be with possible partnership with the Rotary. Ivy Ridge, develop a design and community meeting and a dog park, which there's 1.74 acres in the industrial park adjacent to Columbia distributing, owned by the city.
Now, let me ask Jim a question, I mean, we came up with these, our priority list based on the CIP, as we discussed. Do we need to propose or put forth a motion for you to take to city council and say, this is the order we want we did them? Oh, that's right, and was carried 7-0.
It goes to Jerry, and Jerry includes it in his budget.
Yep, I put together the new list, let you guys look at it, and then I take it forward with budget, and then council adopts it.
Okay, so where do
So it's in the works.
I just need to, what I'm gonna do is when we start budget, I'm gonna put together the list with your guys' recommendation, let you guys look at it, make sure it's right, and then submit it to budget to the finance director.
Okay, well, there we go.
It's all in the works, and
So
we've
you-
done our part.
Yep, 100%, yeah, no, well, I want you guys to be on board and support, and so does Jim, the CIP.
In process. Okay.
Nothing to do.
Good. Okay, moving on to Ryan Potter.
So Ryan Potter researched the grant, looked into it, and we are not qualified for any of those that he was looking at, but he says he's digging into it deeper and looking for ones that we are.
Okay. wow.
So he,
Go Ryan.
he said everything that you guys were talking about, so he's into this.
We did not qualify for this.
That's what he said, he dug into it and we did not qualify. And I know there was
Oh,
there was conversation too at our leadership team about this too, we discussed it, and he's looking into ones we do qualify.
okay.
For the pond.
To make
For whatever he's been trying to look into.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lisa sent me this Clackamas County Water Environment Service grant opportunity for up to $30,000. And so I thought it was, I forwarded to Ryan, because we're not grant writers, so I forwarded to Ryan Potter, asked him to take a look at it to see if we qualify. And we don't, according to Jerry and Ryan Potter.
Because we're not green enough or cheap.
Whatever the criteria was, we didn't meet.
Didn't meet the criteria. So,
We want savings and benches.
with all that, yeah, we'll just roll it over.
So yeah, Ryan's pushing forward, looking into other.
That's great.
Yep,
And tell Ryan, I appreciate it.
I will pass that on.
Thank you. Jim, city council, your liaison report. Do you have anything to report on?
I do. Everybody knows that Scott is now on the city council. Scott Sassy, and that's went really well. I'm happy to have him there. The comp plan, they're continuing to work. They had Summit 3 on the comp plan. They'll continue with that. Really good input from the citizens on that. Jerry promises that the light at 99 will be completed by 1/2030.
Which project? I got one.
Street.
Walnut Street, I don't know, I don't commit to that. Oh, wait.
The Walnut Street.
2030? Yeah,
When-
if I don't, would you guys just, I mean, I can really think about that stuff.
You got sure to get it done, Jerry.
We should be able to meet.
Yeah.
We better be, the mayor's gonna fly.
That in minutes, 2030, this isn't a joke.
It's a joke.
But it is true, you are right, Jim, the TSP said we need the Walnut Street done by 2030.
Okay.
We're ahead of schedule.
Bye.
We hope we have it out for this. If we can get ODOT to come back.
Yeah. Anyway,
Are they working on them? Oh, no.
so we held the retreat, goal setting last Friday on the 16th, and a lot of discussion. There was a lot of discussion in regards to some of the parks projects and updates on the park projects. We did have some discussion around the park maintenance fee. Council members, they were bringing up maybe one or two of the council members, but maybe more Eileen, talking about the park maintenance fee. You'll recall that we made it temporary again. And there's still some discussion around whether that should be a permanent fee, but we got plenty of time since it's right now it's a temporary, good for 5 years. So there's still some rumblings around the park maintenance fee, which I understand because of the fact that they're looking at how do they, if we're going to be looking at future parks and stuff like that, how do we maintain, and so what does that look like moving into the future? But that's a much bigger picture item when we start looking at parks in general, and so we did talk, there was a little discussion around the park district, and I think there's a lot of education that needs to be done at the council level because they're way behind on where we are in regards to the borders of the boundaries being brought in and everything else, and a lot of the stuff that Andy's been working on in regards to a park district, because then that gets into a bigger picture too. If we look at a larger athletic field complex and increased parks and stuff like that, how do we maintain those? And what does that look like? Because we have a very limited staff right now within the city. So
Is there any policy formation about how they're supposed to handle this?
well, I think it's going to be more of maybe a work session, bringing the entire council up to speed on where we're at with the park boundaries being brought in and an update on that and what does that look like. And a lot of work's been done there. I think it's a matter of educating the rest of the council on what does that look like.
You know what I
Well
mean?
put, Jim, because we're up to speed and they're not.
They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, they were, the mayor even was talking about, oh, it's way out there. I mean, that's what failed and everything else. And I'm going, Brian, where have you been?
Yeah, they just don't know.
You know? And so, they don't know at this point on where we're at with that. You know, so, we need to have a work session with the rest of the council, to talk about that along with, my hot topic is Cogeo, of course, in the athletic fields. We have renderings that are done and Patrick is ready to present those to the city staff. And then city staff was supposed to come back in the beginning of January with potentials of funding for this. Where do we come up with the funds to buy the property? Nothing's been done with that, and I continue to send emails to Eileen about that as well, you know, because we're supposed to get city staff back together again to look at those renderings. Then we're supposed to have a city council executive session and bring the council up to speed on where we're at with Cogeo 2 and what the possibilities are. And I have no idea, maybe Jerry can follow up with Eileen and find out what is going on
I was gonna ask you because I thought they were supposed to be a meeting today.
today.
I thought you and Patrick and Eileen were working on a meeting today and then I never heard back.
I haven't heard a word.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard a word, but I'll ask Eileen about that.
And when I see her, I'll ask too.
Yeah, as far as where we're at with that, because my fear of that is that based on the renderings that Patrick has designed and stuff like that, they are tremendous, you know,
It's
it
awesome.
even has an indoor soccer facility on it. It has room if you wanted to move an aquatic center, build a new aquatic center over there. There's room on that property for a new aquatic center. Along with 8 soccer fields and 4 baseball/softball fields built into it. So it is the renderings are awesome. And I just hate to lose that to Woodburn at this point because of the cog in the wheel at City Hall, you know, and trying to get things done.
Is it premature for us to share the renderings with this group, or they should go to city council?
It should go to city staff first, you know, and yeah, it should, yeah, and Barry's part of those meetings too, when it goes to city staff, and so that's the meeting we're trying to get back together again, but Eileen was kind of giving an update at the goal setting thing, and I stepped in and gave the update because she wasn't giving the big picture items to the city council.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I appreciate you staying on that, Jim, because Barry sent me an interesting article on Medford. Have you read that? Did you get that?
Didn't I send that to
You,
you?
you need to send that to Jim. It's pretty impressive on what it did for the town of Medford.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea.
Just on the economy alone.
Yeah,
On what it's gonna do for the city. So continuing to stay on top of that. Then Auburn Farms tomorrow night, second reading, that'll be approved. Andy's gonna be his application to the Park and Rec Committee will be tomorrow night, approved tomorrow night. So you know, lots of stuff happening, it's running pretty slow right now, but I'm more of a let's get her done type thing, so.
Jim, thanks for the report at council too. I don't know if you guys watch council meetings, but Jim does a great job of relaying on everything and it's really spot on and factual. And that's nice because in the past, I mean, I'll give Brian a hard time because he gives me such a hard time in the council meeting, but he had a lot going in a lot of committees, but you always do a good job of reporting back to that. And we appreciate it because you thank us all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. So that's what I have unless you guys have questions.
I think we should have a continuing annual, get somebody we want on the city council, and they all better be Scott Sassy. And
From the
Parks
Parks, from the Parks Committee.
yeah.
We could stack that.
We bring them,
They just-
yeah.
Barry
Future.
Johnson.
Very.
Oh, boy, can you imagine? That'd be awesome. And Jim could be a citizen.
Jim, I apologize. I thought I sent that to you. I will send you that information that Patrick sent me about Medford. Just to give you,
I think you said it to both.
I'll send it.
It's nothing, it's not a secret, it's just.
No, it's actually,
Well, I'll send it to Eileen and ask her to send it out to the rest of the council too.
which,
I think that.
That article.
well, this
that you're
article.
about to
Yeah.
send.
We're
And
building a
maybe-
big- I can send it to everybody, or you want me to send
Let
it?
Eileen be first and then the council.
Okay.
You'll get it.
Um, just to read a little bit about it. The 15th year of Medford's 15-field sports park marks significant milestones, including crossing the $3 million mark for visitors last year and surpassing $160 million in revenue. It is believed to have pumped into the local economy since 2008.
Wow.
Cool.
160 million.
That's huge.
Huge, yeah.
That's huge. Yeah. But I'll get that.
They have a park department. right?
Make sure you do, man. I'm gonna follow up.
Yeah, follow up with me, make sure. All right, I guess that's it. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Barry, real quick, do we have any reports from? From.
I didn't have a slot on here, so I don't have anything prepared, but from Capper. is what I'm
Capper.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't have anything on the agenda, so I don't have anything,
Okay,
so.
Next.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, he's gonna have
I'll wear two hats next month.
he's gonna be part of the agenda. We'll have a Cabot report every month.
good.
He might not have anything, that's. he's gonna- All right, so we had a motion to adjourn by Kara
Sure, a second.
and a second by Barbara, and before, I want to welcome, I want to welcome Andrew, prematurely to our advisory board, and, he brings with him the Cabot information that Jim's looking for, and so that we can update, the city council.
Is this a good time for him to give his 10-minute speech to us?
No.
I didn't bring donuts either, sorry.
Are you gonna be there tomorrow night?
Well, next month. All right, Andrew, it's March the 19th.
Okay.
At 6:30, so donuts.
Are we doing anything?
And we'll do. Yeah, shut off the mic. The next park board meeting is, March 19th at 6:30. All in favor of adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Okay.
I kind of wanted to do it, right?
That's gonna happen.